G'day YouTube, Max right here, and I have a cracker video for you today. I think this is probably, this video more than any other video is gonna help you make money fast. So a lot of the videos are to do it with the big picture. It's about getting in the right asset classes at the right time and making a lot of money over a long period of time. But the strategy I'm gonna give you today, in my opinion, is the most powerful to just create real money quickly. And so if that gets your juices flowing, smash that like button. If that gets you excited, let me know in the comments. We're gonna get straight into it right now. You're gonna know what I believe is the easiest way to make money with Bitcoin here in this 2021 bull market. I'm gonna teach you right here, right now. Okay, so let's get into it. So the reason this video is inspired here today is because of this guy right here. Now we're on the daily chart for the Bitcoin price. And you can see we've put in a couple of red candles here, and it's pretty easy. It's not rocket science. We might kick back to the 4-hour to make it a little bit easier. We will draw a trend line here, right there. You can see I'm going to capture the tops. 3 points of contact, 1, 2, 3. And let's zoom out here and take a look at the bigger picture. So we can see that Bitcoin for quite some time, since when? Since all the way back in December last year, Bitcoin has been really closely following this little channel here. You can see it bounces up and down and up and down, and then it overshoots, and then it comes back down, back into the channel, keeps on going, undershoots to compensate, and in doing so, forms a trend line. See, 1 point of contact, 2 point of contact, 3 point of contact, 4 point of contact, and then finally, that trend line is broken. And once that trend line is broken, this move here is just beautiful. You can see you go up and up and up and up significantly. We're talking about from 33,000 to 57,000. I'm just going to guess something along the lines of an 80% rise. Okay? Now, I believe that this pattern of during the bull market, getting on a run after it breaks these green, I paint them green, the green trend lines, which is, it's actually, it's the result of days or weeks of a little mini downtrend. When it breaks, it's usually very, very exciting times. And as you can see, we're right here, we're creating one of these now with the exact same pattern. We overshoot out of the channel. We correct, we come back through the channel to under the channel, and at some point, and it could happen right here, or it might bounce off and go down here. We wait for confirmation for it to break through the trend line and for the candle to close, and then that's when I get in on this trade. So I'll kick back to the daily here. Let's go back. I want you to see just how powerful this is throughout history. Now, let's go back a couple times. This has happened before. When this trend was happening right here, this green line, so this here was January. I made a video, I drew out this trend line for you, and I told you exactly what to look for here as well. Now, I did it here. I think if you want to go back and look at my channel, I talk about the symmetrical triangles. So I'm pretty sure we did this one. So there was that line, and then there was this trend line coming through about here. And I said, when this, on the breakout of this symmetrical triangle, we went parabolic, okay? And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I did that one too. And on that breakout, I made a video for you, giving you the heads up, and look at all these big, beautiful, massive green candles. Now, this was the biggest green candle I think Bitcoin had ever had at the time. Where is it? We went from below 20,000 up to, oh no, it wasn't. But still, it was pretty darn big and pretty darn good, and a couple of them in a row. Let me clean up these charts. Okay, now let's go back. I want you to see in 2017, and then we'll come back to 2021. We'll fill in with a little bit more color there. Let's go back 2017. Now, I made a video for you. I'm going to put a link in the description. It's how to capture the big, fat, green candles with Bitcoin. So this is the 2017 bull run. And let's zoom in here, and you can see this kind of trend throughout the bull run. Days or weeks, there's this downtrend in the middle of it, and it cuts back, okay? And you'll notice that when it breaks through these trend lines, you get these big green candles and often big moves. So after this trend, this is a little bit less obvious than 2 days, but on the hourly chart, it becomes obvious. You can see here, what do we do? We painted 7 green candles in a row. When we broke out from this one, we had, what do we have? 4 or 5 green candles in a row. There was this one, 4 green candles in a row. And it just goes on and on. The bigger the trend here, you get these long run-ups. So it's just really, really cool if you can catch these when you see, when Bitcoin slows down and creates a trend line. You can argue, see there was another one here. And when it breaks that trend, you get this gorgeous green line. This big green candle, when it broke through the trend, massive green candle. Created another one, spent nearly 2 weeks creating this trend line. When it broke through, massive green candle on the way to a very large run. Okay, so you can go through. Now, I won't count them again here, but this happened, I think, between 12, because some of them are more obvious, some of them are less obvious. Let's call it between 12 and 20 times in 2017, these green lines happen. These little, they're either pullbacks or they're either a price-based correction, meaning the price comes back significantly, or it's a time-based correction, where it's on a march, and then all of a sudden it stops, and it just lets time go by, and the price is boring for a little bit, and it lets the moving averages catch up. So it's either a time-based correction, which is what these horizontal ones are. The horizontal ones are time-based corrections. It had a big move, and then for 2 weeks it went sideways. Time-based correction. This one, price-based correction. Price came down significantly, set this new trend line. Now, next thing I want to point out to you guys is very often these things, they're going in like channels. So I think like something along here, that was a channel, loosely, okay? And then I get something like here was a channel, and I'm doing this, I really want you to see how these channels stack up and what the mania actually looks like. And then this one looks more like a little bit longer. I could even argue it's all the way from there to there. Something along those lines. So again, just kind of like, those last few trend lines are a little bit ad hoc, but you can kind of see in that you overshoot, you come back through the general trend with a price-based correction, price-based correction, price-based correction, and then when it breaks the trend lines, it comes back up, and then it usually overshoots that trend line. Now here's what I want to point out to you. So here, we're all the way back now in like 2016. Look at this. Look at this. You know, it looks vertical, right? Here's the catch. When I take that off the board, now the previous trend looks vertical. And when I take that one off the board, well, this one doesn't quite look vertical because we've got this in it. I mean, I could do this and make it look vertical. So it starts to go vertical again. But here's what I want to get the point I'm trying to make here is, you can make any of them look vertical. But I would argue back here, there was 1, 2, 3 general trends that lasted a year and a half. And really, this one could probably be broken up into 2. And yeah, this one probably is best done as 1. Yeah, probably that can go down there. And then maybe you could save that. So anyway, let's call them 3, 4, 5 of these trend lines. I'm going to get those off because they're not particularly useful. I mean, you're not trading off the back of any of those lines. I just want to draw your attention to that fact. Now, we can come all the way back here. Pardon me. I apologize for not making videos lately, guys. I've been pretty sick. It's not COVID. I've already had that earlier in the year, or earlier last year. Now, again, I can draw this graph and make it look vertical. In fact, right now it's pretty hard to draw it any other way. And you would think that the price of Bitcoin couldn't possibly go up any steeper than this. Let me bring, yeah, there you go. I mean, look at that. Look at how steep that is. Bitcoin's price couldn't possibly keep going up that steep. But remember, we made the chart look like this way back then too. I would argue that this trend here that we are in, this general trend line, and I've got the 2 trend lines which are drawing the boundaries here, that is the second. and we could be having 3, 4, 5, and they are going to get more and more vertical each time, right? So I think there's another one about here. Probably a little bit lower, let's call that there. Something along these lines. And so, yeah, from March of 20 all the way through to the end of the year, that was one of these very sexy legs up. You know, let's call it, you know, from 3,000 up to 15,000. And believe me, if you were around then, you thought this was going parabolic. It's just crazy. It came up, it loitered around $10,000 for a little bit. What was that? What do you want, daily? About a month. Then when it broke through there, we were up. And so this felt, when it went from 3,000 to 10,000, this felt vertical. We come up here, here's our second leg, and it feels vertical. You can't believe it every day you wake up and oh my God, Bitcoin's up another 5 grand, 10 grand, $7,000 candle, and then the vicious corrections and everything that goes with it. Here's what I'm suggesting to you. There will be this channel, there'll be either another 1, 2, or 3 most likely of steeper of the price going absolutely ballistic. So, okay, where does that leave us? What do we do with ourselves? Number one, be in crypto. I hope you guys know that part already. 2021. It's going to be a legendary year, an absolutely legendary year. Again, I always feel the need to make this distinction. The distinction between an investor and a trader. If you are not a trader, don't trade. I consider myself not a trader, but I'm trying to learn, so I'm playing around with small amounts of money. Okay, and I'm doing this, but I'm an investor first and foremost. If you're an investor, just be in crypto. It doesn't matter if you buy here at 41,000 and you have to sit through the misery and watch it go all the way back to 28,000. You know, it was a rough month if you bought here at the very top. But so what? Now we're up here at 44, we've seen 57, right? It doesn't matter if you're an investor. Just get in, be happy, and right now you're at a great time. Look, you're at the bottom, you're below this trend, you're at the bottom. It's possibly going to break out today, possibly not going to break out today. The next day, who knows? I don't know. It might come back down here and you know, break this trend line down here somewhere. That absolutely might happen. But here's the thing. If you're an investor, none of this stuff matters. Just get in. Now, if you're a trader, that's different. Now we're looking to get in and out, in and out, in and out. And so with a very small part of my portfolio that I actually do trading with, here's what I will be doing to capture these. So I mean, it is just the breaking of these trend lines. Sometimes I showed you before. Sometimes it matches. It never breaks down this trend line, and you get a symmetrical triangle. Okay, but sometimes, like here and here, it does break through that bottom trend line. You don't get a symmetrical triangle, but who cares? And in fact, these patterns are called bull flags. So you have a pole, that's the pole of the flag, and then the flag is here. It's called bull flag. Okay? And then when you break out, and the other little trick they teach you is from the base of the pole, from here to here, predicts the size of the breakout of the bull flag. So the breakout occurred from here, when we broke the bull flag, and we run up, and what did we do? Almost to the penny, we picked, this bull flag picked this. So we are in the midst of creating another bull flag right now. Here is the pole. Here is the flag. Okay? Now, that's super advanced, fancy pants stuff. I don't even care. Well, it's kind of useful for getting your targets. So to be fair, I will say that. And technically this flag goes down to the bottom, the lowest point to the highest point. So let me capture this. Here's the high point, here's the low point, and let's say we broke out of this bull flag right here today, right? And we had a candle close above here. That would put us at a price of $76,000. Okay, now maybe we don't break out and we break out and we go down a little bit further. We have to break out down here, in which case maybe we get to 73, something like that. We have to wait for confirmation that we've broken out of this bull flag. But this, most likely right now, what is happening is this bull flag is happening. So what do we do about it? And really crystal clear, guys, I'm not a financial advisor and all those things. You know all the disclaimers we have to say. It bores the hell out of everyone, but we got to do it. So yeah, I'm not your accountant, I'm not your financial advisor, all the good things. Okay, what am I going to do is what I should say. I don't really care that it's a bull flag, okay, except that it helps me exit the trade perhaps. What I do care about is this trend line. If I can get in, again, speaking to the traders, not the investors. If you're an investor, just go ahead and buy, it's fine. For the traders, when we break this trend line, I'm going to come in heavy and try and ride this up, okay? And let's put it. I would put a stop position in here. So let's get this in here. Let's say we broke out here. Here's what I would do. I would put it. Let's say this was the breakout. It's not, because the candle has to close. I would come back here and put my stop sign somewhere in here. We already used the bull flag technique to find out where this is going to go, and we said, I'm just going to real round numbers. We're going to go 76,000. Well, if it broke out today, we said 77, I think. Okay, and that is what my trade would look like. And given that I've got such a sexy and beautiful and juicy risk-reward ratio of 14, which is massive, I would probably be a little bit generous and let my stop loss go just a little bit here. I'd be generous with it on that one. I don't want to get stopped out of this trade because I think there's just so much upside here. But so let's say this. Let's say we had a fake out. Let's say, how do I get my pen here? That's my brush. That'll do me. Let's say we had a fake out and the price goes up here. Fake out comes back down and confirms at this support line down here, right? So let's extend the trend line, right? And if I got stopped out of the trade, right? Because the price went up, it looked like it was going to happen, it was a fake out, comes back down, and I get stopped out of my loss. Two things are going to happen. It could either bounce off this trend line. If it bounced off this trend line and started going back up, so let's draw that, comes down here, bounces off, and then starts going back up, I would do this exact same thing, but nope, don't want that one. Really? Not loving me. All right, I'm just going to leave it there. I would do this exact same trade, but here. Okay, I would get back into the trade, reset my stop loss down here, because you see, I've got a risk-reward ratio of 11 to 1. I can do this 11 times and I'll come out even. Make sense? I'll do this 11 times and come out even. It might happen to me once, it might happen to me twice, I don't think it's going to happen 11 times, right? So this is what I would do. This is what I think is the killer. I think it's the easiest way to make money in crypto, by far. During this thing with the trading, find these trend lines on the way up. Sometimes it creates a symmetrical triangle. Sometimes it creates a bull flag. Sometimes it creates some other pattern I've never heard of and I'm learning as I go along. I don't know. But the magic is the trend lines, and anyone can do that. You don't need to be a Philadelphian lawyer to figure that one out. You don't need 10 years of trading experience to figure that one out. The trend lines are easy. But then that's finding the trend line. That's also, to be fair, that's a small part of the deal. Okay, that helps you get into the trade, but you still need to know when to get out. But listen, if you mess it up completely and just, you don't capture, you didn't know about the pole and the bull flag, or it just does something different and you exit the trade early, or, okay, fine. You want to maximize your profits, so you want to know the pole, and so that's a little bit helpful too. But if you can get in on the bull flags or on these trend lines that are broken, doesn't matter if it's a symmetrical triangle, you are to, in my opinion, by orders of magnitude, it is the easiest way to make money in Bitcoin during 2021. These trend lines, these chop across as during this hyperbolic move that 2021 is going to be, in my opinion. It's just so easy for you to get in at the right position. And when you do that, all of a sudden crypto is wonderful. Like it only lasts for a month, but when you're in it and you're the very first time you ever bought Bitcoin, it was at 57, and now you're at 46. I mean, I get it. You're terrified. You look silly to your partner. You look silly to your friends. All the emotions are going through your head, and it's brutal. I get it. In a month or two, you're just not even going to care because the price of Bitcoin will be over $100,000, and you're just not going to care. But that's what it feels like. So it's always nice to get in just before a really big move. Makes you feel good. Don't get cocky because bet the farm on any one of these things, because very often it'll play out the same way with a pattern 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then all of a sudden the pattern will just break and it'll just do something completely different. So don't get too cocky and only be playing with money that you can afford to lose. But that's how I do it. That's what I think is the easiest way to make money in all of crypto. Guys, if you like this video, smash that like button. Let me know if you are going to be trading this type of pattern below, and let me know how you go. I'll also want to tell you about the next video I'm going to make. So this, I think, is the easiest way to make money in crypto. And by the way, real simple, just be in crypto this year. For many more months, just be in crypto. The question is, can we maximize our gains by being in altcoins, specific altcoins, or is Bitcoin the place to be this cycle? The next video I'm going to make it about that. And so, okay, we figured out the Bitcoin price. We got a pretty good handle on what the Bitcoin price is. Hopefully, we think to a certain extent with these trend lines, etc. We know what Bitcoin's going to do. But can we use the Bitcoin chart to know when to go into altcoins? Maybe altcoins are going to do better. Maybe altcoins are going to do worse. So I'm going to show you another strategy in my next video to teach you the tools that I use to decide whether or not to be in alts or Bitcoin. I use the Bitcoin chart to decide whether I'm going to be in with my trading account. But I don't necessarily buy Bitcoin. I might buy alts. All right? So that's going to be the next video, a way to multiply your wealth many times over. Make sure you subscribe to get that, and hit the button, the bell, and the all button, and you'll get that video. Guys, I hope this was awesome, and I'll see you soon.